Thousands of psychological studies get published every single year, and they're packed with these incredible insights into how our minds work. But let's be real, who has the time to read all of that? Well, today, we've done the hard work for you. We've distilled some of the absolute best research into simple, powerful secrets you can start using to make your life just a little bit easier. So, are you ready to unlock some of your brain's hidden settings? Let's dive in. Ever feel like this? You're trying to figure out relationships, handle stress, or maybe build a new habit, and it just feels like you're guessing, like you're winging it. It's this super common frustration that we're all just kind of figuring things out as we go. But what if I told you that science has kind of written a manual for us? I mean, it's not a single book you can buy, but it's a collection of proven psychological principles that can act as our guide. And today, we're going to flip through 12 pages from that hidden manual. Okay, first up, let's talk about the people around us. Understanding how others think and behave is basically a superpower. These first few facts are all about improving our interactions and building way stronger connections. So let's start with this fascinating paradox called the Dunning-Kruger effect. A couple of social psychologists found that genuinely intelligent people often, and I mean often, underestimate their own abilities. They're so aware of how much they don't know that they doubt what they do know. And on the flip side, people with lower competence tend to be wildly overconfident. Why? Because the very skills you need to be good at something are the same skills you need to recognize you aren't good at it. So next time someone is loudly declaring how brilliant they are, well, just remember this. So how do you use psychology to make a really great first impression? It's actually super simple. Make the other person feel smart. Even if you know a ton about a topic they're passionate about, say cars or music, ask them questions about it. Let them teach you something. This makes them feel confident and important, and they'll naturally associate those good feelings with you. This quote, man, it just nails the heart of a great conversation, doesn't it? It's not always about what you say, it's about what you're willing to hear. Listening doesn't just build that connection, it's also literally the only way to learn something new. Okay, here's a pro-level technique for you. If a conversation kind of stalls out or you feel like someone is holding back, try this. Ask a simple, open-ended question. Then just wait. People are naturally so uncomfortable with silence in a conversation that they will almost always start talking again just to fill that void. And they'll often reveal a lot more than they originally planned to. So, what's the most comforting and important sound to any person? Well, according to psychologists, it's often their own name. Remembering and using someone's name in conversation makes them feel seen, it makes them feel valued and respected. It's such a tiny detail, but it creates this huge subconscious connection. Okay, this one's gonna sound a little weird, but trust me, it works. If you feel like a conversation is about to get heated or confrontational, offer to share some food or just start eating something yourself. Psychologists say that eating is a fundamentally calming activity. It's really hard to be aggressive when you're chewing. It de-escalates tension and just makes everyone in the room feel more comfortable. All right, we've covered some great ways to connect with others, but what about the person you spend the most time with? Yourself. Now, let's turn inward and explore some cool hacks for your own brain. Imagine this. You're about to give a big presentation, and your heart is just pounding out of your chest. What should you do? Sing. Yeah, it might feel silly, but singing, even just to yourself in the car, triggers your brain to release oxytocin, which is the feel-good hormone. This stuff rapidly lowers your stress, slows your heart rate, and makes you feel instantly calmer and way more confident. You ever notice how just a little bit of sunshine can instantly lift your spirits? Well, there's some real science behind that. Direct sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which acts as a natural mood stabilizer. It actually helps the brain produce more pleasure hormones like dopamine and serotonin. And studies have even shown it can help prevent mood disorders. And all it takes is just 10 minutes a day. This is absolutely fascinating. Music doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you literally see. A 2011 study found that our brains try to match our sensory input. So when people listened to happy music, their brains were primed to find happiness, and they started seeing neutral faces as happy. And the opposite was true for sad music. The takeaway here is huge. Your playlist is shaping your reality more than you probably realize. We all like to pride ourselves on being great multitaskers, but here's the reality check. Your brain can't actually do it. It can only truly focus on one cognitively demanding task at a time. When you think you're doing two things at once, like writing an email while you're on a conference call, your brain is just switching its focus back and forth incredibly fast, and that's super inefficient and leads to way more mistakes.
So, why does it feel like we can multitask sometimes? Well, the key is understanding the difference between automatic and focused tasks. You can do two things at once if one of them is automatic, like walking and talking. That's because walking doesn't require conscious focus for most of us. But you can't truly read a book and watch TV at the same time. Your brain is just going to be bouncing between the two, not fully absorbing either one.
All right, for our final section, we are diving into the deep code of the mind. These are the underlying principles of influence, of perception, and, maybe most importantly, how to make lasting changes in your life. Ever notice that you start to adopt the mannerisms or the slang of your close friends? That's the chameleon effect in action. It's the subconscious thing we do where we mirror the people we're with to build a sense of connection. You can actually use this consciously by subtly mirroring someone's posture or the words they use. It makes them feel like you're like them, which builds trust and comfort on a really deep level.
This is the big question, right? And psychology has a surprisingly simple answer. It's not about force, and it's not about commands. It's all about perception and control.
The secret isn't to give a command, but to offer a choice. You give two options that both lead to the outcome you want. If you tell a kid, go study, they might resist. But if you ask, hey, should we start with English or math? They feel like they are in control of the decision, even though the real outcome, studying, was already decided. And this works in pretty much all areas of life. Okay, time for a major myth buster. We've all heard it takes 21 days to form a new habit. It sounds nice and quick, doesn't it? But the science says that's just wrong. Neuropsychological research shows that on average, it takes about 66 days for a new behavior to become truly automatic.
So it is absolutely essential to be realistic and understand the journey. Think of it in three phases. The first 22 days or so, it's going to feel forced, it's uncomfortable. Then comes the danger zone from about day 23 to 44. This part is difficult, and it's where most people give up. But if you can just push through to that final phase, from day 45 to 66, that's when the magic happens. The momentum takes over, and that behavior locks in and becomes a true automatic habit.
So there you have it, a quick tour through your brain's hidden instruction manual. We've covered some really powerful tools to help you connect more deeply with other people, to master your own internal state, and to build habits that can truly change your life. But look, knowledge is only powerful when you actually use it. So looking back at everything we've covered today, from the power of silence to the 66-day rule, I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Which one of these psychological secrets will you put into practice today?